was a shining spring afternoon. I had just come home from an agonizing day of 4th grade school. I was sifting through my Pokemon card collection that I'd worked on expanding and constructing for the past 3 years. As I was admiring my vast riches worth around $100 at the time, I realized I'd forgotten some upstairs. I'd go upstairs to retrieve the missing cards and come back down to where I settled in horror. My, at the time, 4-year-old little brother had rampaged through all my cards, smashing, tossing, and tearing through every last one of them. I rushed down to the scene and yelling with piercing words, "Why would you do that? You know how much this is worth?" As anger and outrage filled the atmosphere, I looked at my brother as he stares back at me blankly, covering his ears to cancel out the disturbance. At the end of my pit of rage, I simply looked back at my brother. Seemingly with no acknowledgement of what he had just done, he shakes his hand in front of his face, uncovers his ears, and continues to unleash a random conjunction of sounds and syllables as he goes and runs to watch Kokomo in the room over. I scavenge the parts of my bygone collection and think, how could somebody do such a thing to a piece that I was so fond of? Did he not understand? This is one of the many experiences where the thought to be unexplainable actions on my little brother cause extreme detriment to me and my possessions. I continue to ask the same question, does he not understand? After almost a decade of caring and living with my brother, after each of these incidents, I still continued to wonder, why? Autism is defined as, by Merriam-Webster, a neurodevelopmental disorder highlighted by persistent impairments in social communication and interaction, or by the Oxford Dictionary, a neurodevelopmental condition of variable severity with lifelong effects. These definitions seem a bit harsh, don't they? The autism spectrum is a wide array of various struggles an autistic person may deal with. These can include communication, information processing, fine motor skills, sensory amplification, social awareness, and more. Often, autistic people may have to deal with 1 to 3 of these things, whether it is struggling to find friends to sit with at lunch, or being overwhelmed in a crowded and crazy environment, or simply asking to go to the bathroom. These impairments greatly hinder an autistic person's ability to conform to society and not be left as outcasts as they grow to adults. About 2 years ago, my little brother graduated from elementary school. Me and my family decided to go attend his little graduation set up by the school's teacher and staff. I remember all this neat and tidy, organized 5th graders sitting aligned on the cafeteria floor. And then there was my brother, jumping up and down and screaming on the side with the other special needs students as a crowd of teachers and assistants huddled around them. As the Pledge of Allegiance concluded, everyone sat back down and they began announcing all the children in the 5th grade. First up was my brother. As he was pulled away from the rest of the special needs students, the crowd went silent. He frolicked his way onto the stage, jumping and screaming without a care in the world. The principal hands him a slip of paper, which he immediately disregards as he continues to leap across the stage, fascinated by the booming echo of the cafeteria floor. I remember seeing all the organized and aligned students sitting on the cafeteria floor, the eyes of judgment with some kids whispering to their partners across from them, sneer comments underneath their breath. After about 15 seconds of my brother being on stage, he jumped off as one of the teachers rushed to go grab him and pacify him with ruffles and a toy truck. I remember this moment so vividly, recalling all the judgmental looks and faces of the bystanders as they watched my brother dance around the stage. This angered me. I questioned, how could people be so rude, whispering sneer comments underneath their breath? This is the first time I felt this. The first time I understood my brother. The first time I understood why. I'm sure we've all seen an autistic person in public before, either at the local Costco, the community park, or even Six Flags. We've all seen somebody who is a little different. But what sets this difference? Is it the awkward stature? Is it the constant fluttering with their fingers? Or is it the occasional sound that comes out of their mouth? Whatever it is, we see this person apart, someone, not like the rest of us. This sound discrimination can be seen almost everywhere. It can be seen in these very hallways. A high school setting is one of the most punishing for a high school student, as autistic individuals may not have the cognitive processing skills or social awareness to adhere to our modern cultural ideas. I often see many people in the hallway, sometimes even my own friends, taking pity or commenting on these people. We do nothing but look over our shoulder and have nothing good to say about it. And it's not just sly comments. Sometimes people would straight up mock or laugh at these people for simply doing what they think is right. As I pass these same people in the hallways, the kids with the car's backpack and teacher assistant to the side, I can only have the greatest amount of gratitude as I have witnessed and experienced the struggles of caring for somebody who doesn't see the world quite like we do. I always look at the pair with contentment, but can never act in accordance to my fondness. There was this one time I was walking into a Dollar Tree with my little brother to the side, jumping up and down, playing with his toys in his hand, and screaming in excitement. As I approached the door, a Hispanic gentleman around 30 years old approached me. "Mi sobrino también tiene autismo," he said. With my limited knowledge over Spanish, I understood what he was trying to say to me. He was telling me that he had a nephew that too had autism. I gave my affirmation and commented on the struggles of caring for my brother. We exchanged a couple more words as my fluency isn't the greatest, but I will never forget the last few words he said to me. "Bueno cuidadolo." He was congratulating me for caring for my brother. At this moment, I felt some warmth in my heart. A complete stranger just told me, "Good job for caring for my brother." I've never received this type of positive affirmation before, especially from a stranger, especially from one with a language barrier. But something about it seemed special. MD Saul Levine talks about this phenomenon in his article titled "A Sense of Awe and Peak Experiences," where he mentions how people report feeling so deeply emotionally moved that they're swept away in a veritable state of awe. He highlights these moments as peak experiences, as people are swept away beyond simple satisfaction or happiness, but a sense of personal enlightenment and heightened awareness. He also mentions how these moments cannot be planned or set up, but are a result of deep and meaningful connection that accumulates into a special memory. This explains the heartfelt feeling I had at Dollar Tree. Though it was simple and seemingly forgettable, it was the climax of trying to interpret what my brother understood, which created the grounds for my peak experience. Autistic people can feel the same sense of satisfaction or enlightenment too, though it's not apparent. Their ability for emotional response is the exact same. Servant talks about this in his paper titled "Cognitive Behavioral Therapy on Youth with Autism," where he discusses the complex psychological thinking of autistic people. He mentions how though, on average, autistic people have lower cognitive processing levels, the internal response for emotion is the exact same. That means the state of awe or state of satisfaction or enlightenment can be found the same in autistic people. I'm sure we've all experienced struggles in our lives that seem to never have a solution. We cry and break down over the overwhelming situation. However, acceptance is one of the most effective ways to let go of the stress and be released from the compression of work and responsibility. Reflecting a sense of positive affirmation or happiness is also one of the simplest ways to uplift the social atmosphere. Autistic people also struggle every day. People who are a little socially awkward or don't seem to enjoy the loud and crazy environment. We should share our affirmation, be happy with them, as they don't commonly see this type of positive response or affirmation from strangers in their daily lives. And maybe one time, just one time, this simple action can result in a peak experience for them, a memory they won't forget. And as one final statement, referring back to the neurodevelopmental disorder as classified by Merriam-Webster, it's not a disorder, it's a gift, and one that we should cherish to see these individuals as our own. Thank you.